You've been told your entire life that forgiveness is the key to peace. It sounds like wisdom, but not every situation fits that rule. From a young age, people repeat that letting go is strength. Rarely do they explain when letting go becomes self-betrayal. Forgiveness is often presented as a moral obligation, but morality without boundaries can become self-destruction. Most people confuse healing with tolerance. They believe enduring pain quietly makes them stronger. In reality, repeated tolerance without limits trains others how to treat you. It sets a silent standard for future behavior. Not all betrayals are equal in nature. Some are accidental, while others are deeply calculated. A calculated betrayal is never a mistake. It is a decision made with awareness and intent. When someone plans deception, they evaluate the cost. And sometimes your pain is a price they accept. Your mind struggles to accept this truth. It tries to protect you by creating softer explanations. You begin telling yourself stories that reduce the impact. This is how denial quietly takes control. Forgiveness then becomes a tool for emotional escape. It helps you avoid facing uncomfortable realities. But avoidance always comes with consequences, and those consequences appear slowly over time. When you forgive without accountability, you remove consequences. You create space for repetition. The other person learns something important. They learn that your boundaries are flexible. Once that lesson is learned, behavior rarely improves. It evolves into something more damaging. There is a deeper level of harm beyond betrayal. It targets not your emotions, but your perception. This is where manipulation becomes psychological. It begins to reshape how you see reality. You remember events clearly in your mind, yet someone insists your memory is wrong. At first, you resist this contradiction, but repetition slowly weakens your certainty. You start questioning your own thoughts. Doubt replaces clarity in subtle ways. This process is known as gaslighting. It is one of the most dangerous psychological manipulations. Gaslighting does not break you instantly. It erodes your confidence gradually over time. Eventually, you begin relying on the manipulator. You look to them for validation of reality. This creates a dangerous dependency. Your sense of truth becomes externally controlled. Forgiving this pattern does not fix it. It reinforces the manipulator's influence over you. They learn they can distort reality without consequences, and that power becomes addictive. Over time, your identity begins to shift. You become less certain, less expressive, less confident. You stop speaking your truth openly. You fear being dismissed or invalidated again. This internal silence is not peace. It is suppression disguised as stability. There is an even more subtle form of betrayal. It does not look like harm at first glance, comes disguised as concern or advice. Often, it comes from people close to you, question your goals and your ambition. They make you feel like you are doing too much. At first, their words seem harmless, but repetition gives them psychological weight. You begin adjusting your behavior unconsciously. You start holding yourself back. Your growth becomes limited by external comfort. You shrink to maintain harmony. This is the betrayal of your potential. It slowly disconnects you from your true path. Forgiving this repeatedly has a cost. It leads to long-term self-abandonment. You trade your future for temporary approval, and that trade is rarely worth it. The biggest misconception about forgiveness is access. People think forgiveness means reconnection, but emotional release and physical access are different. One heals, the other can harm. You can let go of anger internally, yet still choose distance externally. Healthy boundaries are not acts of cruelty. They are acts of self-respect. You do not need to explain your boundaries endlessly. Clarity does not require permission. At some point, you must observe patterns objectively. Behavior always reveals the truth. When patterns repeat, the message is clear. The question is whether you accept it or ignore it. Ignoring it may feel easier in the moment, but it creates deeper damage over time. Awareness without action keeps you stuck. True change requires difficult decisions. You cannot heal in the same environment that keeps hurting you. Distance often creates clarity. Choosing yourself will feel uncomfortable at first, but discomfort is part of growth. People may misunderstand your silence. They may interpret distance as arrogance or coldness. But not everyone deserves access to your energy. And not every explanation needs to be spoken. Your peace is not something you negotiate. It is something you protect with intention. Once you start protecting it, everything changes. Your standards become clearer, and your circle becomes smaller. You begin to recognize patterns faster than before. What once confused you now becomes obvious. Clarity replaces overthinking, and decisions become easier. You stop chasing explanations and start trusting actions.